One thing about being emotionally attached to my video games is I don't seem to get rid of them over the years. And so I've collected all these games since I was a little kid. I was looking over some of my collection today and I thought, I wonder if these still work. If I just chuck them in my CD drive and try to install them on Windows 11, what's going to happen? So I have three games that I want to try out today. The first one we're looking at is going to be the oldest one of the three, and that is Vietcong. This game came out around 2003, and at the time it was kind of popular for its very story-driven game, and it did pioneer a bit of graphics and environmental map kind of detail sort of things, voice acting. It did leave behind a legacy, and it is a product of its time. I remember mostly in this game, not so much even playing the story, but playing the survival mode. So yeah, let's chuck this in and then we'll see if it even runs. So this is a dual disc PC CD. It's not even DVD. It's a dual CD-ROM. Manual still in really good condition. Never wrote any notes. Never used that in any of the games I owned. Actually, I might have in my old Sega Mega Drive games when I was trying to remember cheat codes back before the internet existed. Can you see that tiny, tiny little installation box? It looks hilarious on high resolution screens of today. All right, select language. It's not called English, it's called English Mature. Direct play, install. What is direct play? Skip this installation. Let's just install it. Welcome to Vietcong installer. Click install to install Vietcong. Oh, that makes sense. Select web to visit vietconggame.com. Let's see. Vietconggame.com. This domain is for sale. Wow. Only $8,300, and you can own the official vietconggame.com domain. Next. Install Games by Arcade. Nope. Install. All right, she's installing. Out now. Mafia. Classic. And another interesting thing about this game is, look at that. An 18 rating. Australia never had an 18 rating. So I don't know how this is here. BBFC ratings. British Board of Film Classification. So even though I bought this in Australia, it's got a British board classification on it. Must have been imported from Britain, I suppose, or the UK somewhere. Okay, what do we got here? So it's detected my graphics card, RTX 4080. I wonder if this launch utility has ever seen an RTX 4080. Disable, there's an option just to disable sounds. Prefer 16-bit textures. Is that better, or is that instead of 32-bit, or is it instead of 8-bit? I'm not sure. And the language is set to English Mature. The funny thing is the alternatives are French or Spanish, but they don't say mature. Only the English one is mature. It is launching. That frame rate looks terrible. Surely that's just the frame rate that the video was rendered in. It's funny that the color of the logo looks a lot like my own Tech Games logo. All right, it looks like it's working. Have a look what options we've got. Video, effects, character detail, and gamma correction. Let's just turn the volume down a little bit. We've got audio settings, sound quality, just going to turn that up all the way. Volume settings, output, yeah, pretty standard stuff. Apply. General, show subtitles off. Crosshair shape, color, level of blood is set to real. Reality switch, all HUD, no radar or no HUD. Okay, that's called reality switch. Whistle after explosion. Okay, let's go quick fight. I really I used to enjoy playing this mode It's kind of, they just drop you in a map with a bunch of enemies and you have to take them out. It was actually pretty hard. We're going in alone, number of enemies. We'll set that to, you can set it all the way up from few to several to loads to too many. Let's go several. VC local enemies. What weapon do you want? And weapon 2. Yeah, that'll be fine. Difficulty normal. Let's just go see if this works. We're in. It's actually working. Wow. This game has been resurrected from the CD-ROM, which it's been sitting on for 15 years. And yeah, this is Vietcong in all its glory. It definitely shows its age. I mean, just look at this bush here. You can see there's absolutely no shading on this 2D texture bush. It doesn't fit in with the environment at all. You do have to be careful in this game because the Vietcong are kind of hard to spot. And oh, see what I mean? He just came out of nowhere. Okay, so you can lay down. Oh, yep, there's a guy over there too. They're popping their heads out. Okay, got ya. There's a guy behind this. Oh my God. Did I get him? Oh God, there's... Shoot. Okay, I think I got him. Okay, R does not reload, apparently. Yeah. As you can see, they just... they swarm you as soon as they know where you are. Okay, we got a handgun. And we actually have grenades as well. Let's try... Oh, here's the cave I was looking for. I think there's some inside here. I'm just going to throw a grenade over here. I don't know where that went. Oh my God. Okay, that's pretty bad design. It's not obvious where that went at all. But hey, I'm impressed that the game's actually working. Here we are, the story introduction. And you can see it's widescreen, it's got the black bars. The jungle is just a flat texture. But it looks pretty good, you know, for its time.
My name is Steve R. Hawkins, Intelligence Sergeant. When I first arrived in Vietnam, I got stuck in the rear for 3 boring weeks, serving as an instructor for the Vietnamese Special Forces at Nha Trang. Not bad duty, really, but incredibly boring. Now, with that behind me, on my way to Noise Head, a hot camp up in the Central Highlands, and a chance to see some action. Finally.
Hey man, good old CJ. The captain wants to talk to you. He should be in the TOC bunker. It's the one with the American flag flying. So, CJ, how was Saigon? Up to your usual tricks? Well, you wouldn't believe what happened to me this time.
The next game we're going to try out is another kind of obscure game, which no one talks about so much these days, but it is Chrome Specforce. Another kind of interesting game. This one came out in 2005. It's a first-person shooter, as are the other 2 games that I'm trying out today. But I remember when I saw this as a teenager, I thought, wow, those graphics are really good. And, you know, I guess for the time they were pretty good. But it also came out around at an awkward time in video game history where all of these amazing graphical leaps were being made. We had Far Cry, we had Half-Life 2, we had Fear, we had Doom 3 come out all around the same time as this game. And yeah, anyway, it did look good compared to games in the year prior or before, but it came out around that time that games were coming out that they just looked a lot better already. So the requirements of this game recommended are a Pentium 4 2 gigahertz or equivalent. It recommends a GeForce 5700 or an ATI 9600 chipset. Funnily enough, I actually have the graphics card which I used to play this on, and that was my ATI Radeon X800 Pro, Yeah, this was a really good card at playing this game. This is a 256 megabyte card, so you could say it was overpowered for this kind of game, especially on a 17-inch CRT monitor. But it ran really good, and we're going to install it today and see if it still holds up. Something inside. This might be a receipt. It is. It is an EB Games receipt. EB Games. So it was $29.95. I paid with $50 and I got $20.05 change in the 29th of September 2006 at Electronic Boutique Sunshine Plaza. So this is a dual disc as well, disc 1, disc 2. So let's chuck it in. So I've just entered the CD key and proceeded to install, and the very first thing it tells me is that it's removing applications. What applications is it removing? That's a little bit worrying. Error. Application can be launched with the release version of Microsoft Windows 95. Server 2003 only. Did I run the wrong file or something? Okay guys, I've tried downloading a patch for this game and updating the files, and I cannot get past this Windows 95 error. So I'm calling this one a fail. Chrome Specforce does not work on Windows 11. So you remember when I said this game came out in a year where these massive graphical leaps were being made? Well, that brings us to our next game, and that is FEAR. Fear. This game stands out in my mind because for two reasons. The first time I saw it, I couldn't believe how detailed and how good it looked. Even in a year where I'd been playing Half-Life 2 and Doom 3, this still looked like a next step beyond those games. And I wasn't wrong, because this is the game which destroyed my graphics card at the time, which was the X800 Pro. And yeah, this game just wouldn't run very good on my graphics card. Even though that GPU was kind of top of the line when I purchased it, and it was fantastic for Half-Life 2 and Doom 3, Fear just destroyed it, and I couldn't run this game at very good settings at all. I'm sure my RTX 4080 will handle this game a lot better than my 2004 era ATI card, but the question is, will it even run on Windows 11? Let's find out. And we have another receipt. This one is from Electronics Boutique, Runaway Bay on the Gold Coast. So this one was purchased on the 14th of June 2007. I don't know if I ever actually installed this, because I never actually ended up buying a graphics card which was good enough to run it. So I think I never even installed this. We got the disc, we got the user manual. Oh, and some, what is that, energy drink of some sort? No Fear energy drink. Never heard of it. We got a, what is this? Please download and install the latest updates for this game. Okay, pretty funny. They have to tell you to download the updates before playing the game. We have another book. Wait, I thought, did they give me two? What the hell? They gave me two manuals. What is this? Oh, this isn't a manual. This is a little comic book introduction. How cool is that? Look at this. That is awesome. I didn't know that. Yeah, Dark Horse Comics, of course. And then this is the user manual. But yeah, they have actually given me two of these multiplayer cards for some reason. I don't know why. I didn't need any of them. So single disc DVD-ROM. which is great. The other games I just installed were CD-ROM, so I had to take them out and put in the second disc. But this was around the time that some people had DVD drives and some people didn't. So you could actually purchase DVD-ROM versions of games and CD versions of games. The only difference being that the CDs came on multiple discs and the DVD was on one. I love that the Blu-ray ROM icon is just an eye. Oh. Yeah, this was a really high production value game. They had a Dark Horse Comics mini comic book made for it. They actually produced some what do you call it, live action videos for this game, like a prequel kind of mini video series. All right, so this is actually just launched straight into full screen. So we're on a good start. Oh, okay. What is going on? Okay. Why is it reporting such a low FPS? Yeah, that is definitely a low frame rate. Oh my God, 12 FPS? What is going on? Is it running? Even if running in software mode off the CPU would get better than that, surely. Oh my God. Yep, it's really low FPS. Okay. So here I am 15 years later, and my computer with an RTX 4080 still can't run Fear. I am utterly defeated. I am a defeated man. Oh my God. So I've installed the latest patch 1.08, I think it was, of the game. And I've downloaded a FPS fix. So I think after 15 years, I've finally fixed my Fear FPS issue. Oh yes. Yep. 300 FPS, around 300 FPS. I think that's enough to play the game. Nice widescreen support, which is really surprising. I guess the latest patch was pretty forward thinking because this is running at full resolution of my Samsung G9 Ultra Super Ultra Wide. Yep, I remember playing this part of the game on my X800 and it just demolished it. But yeah, I remember in 2004, 2005, whenever I was playing this, I couldn't believe the amount of detail in all these models. Like the keyboard has individual keys. You know, the screen has a high-res display, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, here I am, 300 FPS. Not bad. It goes into slow-mo when you shoot the wooden planks. I seem to be stuck in slow-mo here. Okay. Oh yeah, this game also had a lot of physics, which was kind of popular at the time. I think it had the PhysX or was it Havoc engine or something like that. But yeah, as you can see, like every object is physical, except for these. Yeah, these lids don't move. But like look at the wood particles and destruction. This was all way ahead of its time. And yeah, these are some of the reasons that my 256 meg X800 just couldn't handle it. These objects use F to no. Yeah, these objects interestingly can't be moved. Real-time lighting, another quite recent graphical feature for the time. Doom 3 kind of pioneered. This is stencil lighting. You can see the shadow is incredibly sharp. So it's what they call, although see this shadow here kind of tapers off. So this one might actually be baked. I think that's a baked light. Although my shadow is real time. That's another thing I like about this game. I like games that put your character in the world correctly, where you can see your character's feet and shadow, and you can see my model is self-shadowed. So my head, the shadow of my head lands on the gun that I'm holding. Nice muzzle flashes. So yeah, it has some really great graphical features. You can see you don't get any shadows. You don't get any shadows on objects from the flashlight. Maybe that would have been too demanding. I can confirm Fear works on Windows 11 with the patch and a little fix for the frame rate issue. It's working perfectly. Little rat. Oh, it just explodes. So there we go, 3 2004, 2005 era games, original discs tested on Windows 11 with modern hardware. 2 wins and 1 loss, I think that's not bad. And look, Chrome Specforce, honestly, it's not too much of a loss, to be honest. I had fun with it back in the day, but I don't think it would be of much interest anymore. Fear runs fantastic and still looks so good. That game was way ahead of its time, and I think it's fair to say that's a pretty timeless game. Whereas Vietcong, you know, it did look good for its time, but it's definitely dated by today's standards. The lack of real-time lighting and the overuse of textures instead of 3D polygonal graphics is yeah, definitely shown its age. But there we have it. Let me know if you guys enjoyed this. I've got plenty of old PC games that we could try out and have a read of the receipts and see where they were purchased and when and for how much. But yeah, there's 3 first-person shooters from my collection. So I hope to see you guys next time.